All right. So last Wednesday, I went to the Jackson State Mississippi State basketball game, which was at the Coliseum in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi State plays a home game in the Coliseum every December. So, me and the fellas always try to get together and go down there and catch the game. And prior to the game, I think that Monday, their coach, Mo Williams, who, from the NBA, used to play with the most notably the Cavaliers, I guess. Mo Williams, who's the coach of Jackson State, really pleaded for everyone to come out and support the team. He says that, we want the same support the football team had. Most basketball arenas only hold about 4,000 or 5,000 people. He said, if you can just give us, 2,500, 3,000 or something, come out and support us, and it can go a long way towards, encouraging the team. And so I don't remember what the attendance was at the game. I want to say that the attendance was 3,200. I'm not sure. But as far as my eye test is concerned, if I had to guess out of that 3,200, maybe 2,200 of them were Mississippi State fans because all I saw was maroon. And Jackson State really played a good game. They lost by 10 points, but they led a lot of the way. And the game was tied with like 5 minutes left. And having a little crowd to kind of cheer you on maybe really could have encouraged them to do better down the stretch. But Mississippi State put the clamps on them on defense. But what do you all think? Do you all think maybe once the SWAC season takes off, and I know they're not going to nearly get what the football team gets, but do you think that they may see an increase upon last year in basketball since the HBCU is kind of what's popping right now?
It's a possibility with that. I mean, me myself, I like going to high school and college basketball games. Simply because the kids are, I mean, they're really going after it, trying to make a name for themselves. I know a lot of the basketball players try to go out of high school to go to the NBA, but some of these guys got to, sharpen the sword a little bit and go to college. I love watching college basketball. It's just really the kids are really really good, and to have Mo Williams as a coach, that's even better. But bottom line of it is, we need to support the kids, and I know that the SEC schools, they travel well for basketball games, just like they do football games. So HBCUs need to do the exact same. I know back in the day when we were coming up, if you went to a Jackson State game or Mississippi Valley, there was a lot of pomp and circumstance for those basketball games. You didn't have big band and all that kind of stuff, but you had the swagger of the coaches who were gonna drift the cooler. The music that they played at the basketball games during breaks and the cheerleaders and things of that nature. There was a lot of pomp and circumstance at those basketball games when we were coming up in the 80s and early 90s. There's not so much of that anymore now, but we need to kind of get back to that. Get that element, maybe get some of that football element and bring it over to the basketball side. Get some sponsors and things of that nature. But this is where HBCUs need to really, if they want to see crowds at the basketball games, they need to go out and get those sponsors and get the people that need to come to those games. Because if you got more things, better concessions, maybe get the band, maybe get like their jazz band or concert band or something to come in there and play during the breaks and stuff like that. That will get the interest of people to come to the basketball game because it'll make the basketball game more enjoyable. Just something to think about.
And Ray, back when I was at Valley, back in the Al Ford and Lindsey Hunter days and Bobby Fields and all those other guys that were in the SWAC, back when I was at Valley, Valley's arena, Harrison Complex, holds 5,000 people. And for most SWAC games, we would probably have about 75% capacity. When Jackson State or Alcorn came to town, it was packed, all the way to the ceiling. And that was a different time then. There's a lot more to do now, a lot more distractions and everything. But do you think that there'll be an increase in some of the support for the basketball team, kind of like we saw, with the football team, even though Prime is gone?
No, I keep saying, and I'm not just saying that to be cruel, but I think it's over. because they had a golden opportunity and they blew it. Plain and simple, they blew it. Now, the attendance was going up at all HBCUs, Howard and Morehouse, and all these people had football teams, basketball teams. I would say, okay, this thing is happening. But we as black folks, we go out and support Jackson State, but then the other schools, you act like them kids ain't black over there too. Okay, well, how can you do that with a good conscience? Like next year, it's going to be interesting to see if all these Jackson State supporters come back to the games to see the game play. I already say no, they're not coming back. But we'll see. They'll prove me wrong on that. But I don't think they'll be back. You think they'll be back? No. Because nobody truly cares about what's going on with these kids. They say it all that. Yeah, I think this is great, man. I want to come down and be a part of it and this and that. Okay. Well, one man leave. Now you don't care about coming to see the kids no more. And I think that's the way it's going to be.
Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.